Hello again, everybody. This is John and Glenn with BestPriceNutrition.com. Today we're here to talk to you guys about the new pre-workout product from Optimum Nutrition called Platinum Pre. It's, like I said, the latest pre-workout from them. So what we're going to do is go through the ingredients, break it down. The other pre-workout they have out is Amino Energy, which is a little bit lower on the stimulant side. Let's go through the ingredients, Glenn. What's the first ingredient we got here?
Per one scoop, first there's some vitamin C, sodium, potassium, but then to get into the meat of the ingredients, L-citrulline, there's 2 grams. Citrulline is sourced as micronized L-citrulline, pep-form citrulline peptides, which is citrulline and hydrolyzed whey protein isolate, so they must be bonded together.
So how much actual citrulline, we're not quite sure. I mean, they're saying 2 grams, I guess, in this form. Now, typically, it's usually in citrulline malate is what people are used to. And we've done an in-depth video on citrulline. If you want more information, we spent about 10 minutes breaking it down. But the long and the short of it with citrulline is it's a non-essential amino acid that is going to raise plasma arginine levels in your body. When you work out hard, your arginine levels go down. Now, the original theory was that by increasing arginine levels, that would also in turn increase nitric oxide levels. But we know that that's rate limiting. Your body has homeostatic mechanisms basically to combat that. So any increase in nitric oxide is very short-lived. So we don't look at it for a pump in terms of that. The biggest thing that it can do, and that we found in some of the research, is it can delay fatigue, increase ATP, help with sprint performance, things like that. But we're talking 6 to 8 grams.
Yeah.
Pretty much all the studies, I mean, that's where the threshold is. So that's one of the problems with it. It could also help with muscle soreness, aerobic energy production. Basically, anytime you're producing ATP, that's cellular energy, bottom line. So now, when we're talking about anaerobic energy, that's what's being burned, very quickly is ATP, and that's what you're talking about. We're talking about explosive muscle movement and stuff like that. But as I said, with aerobic energy too, it's using your aerobic system, so it's a little bit different. But ultimately, when we're talking about cellular energy, we're talking about ATP. And again, we cover citrulline more in depth. Bottom line is 6 to 8 grams is about where you want to be. Here at 2 grams, 4 grams per 2 scoops, you're not going to quite hit that threshold. So maybe more stuff will come out where it shows citrulline can be effective at those doses, but we haven't seen that yet. Next up, Glenn,
next is carnosine, the patented beta-alanine, 1.6 grams. We've done videos before on beta-alanine. Beta-alanine, it buffers the acid that dissociates from lactic acid while you're working out. It's not buffering actual lactic acid, it's the acid that dissociates. Can help you get some extra reps on your set. You may get, instead of getting 6 or 7, you may get 8, 9, or 10, and that's not just within the set, but it's also throughout the entire workout. So your last reps, your last set, you may be able to extend that, get a few more extra reps.
And some people might get the tingly feeling too, so don't panic if you get that. That dose is high enough, we're going to feel that. And some people enjoy that because it is a stimulatory effect, kind of. I mean, not in the sense that it's stimulating your nervous system like caffeine, but kind of makes you feel warm and tingly. Kind of
some people look forward to that, and they just know, hey, I can feel this.
Yeah, and just real quick on the label, 1 versus 2 scoops, they do list, side by side, so obviously 1.6, 3.2 for 2 scoops. DMAE, it's a building block for choline, which can lead to acetylcholine, which plays a key role with your, in your brain. Some evidence is based on some subjective criteria, as often as sometimes you're talking about things that affect your brain. They didn't, not like reaction times and things like that you could test objectively, but this one, some of the research, we found basically of how it can increase your feeling of well-being, your focus, things like that. Now, it is naturally produced in your brain. It's also found in certain fish like salmon, anchovies, things like that. So it may help with focus, and that's probably why it's in here. It's also sometimes you'll see it on a label as TMG or trimethylglycine. That's another way of...
no, not the DMAE.
Oh, which am I confusing that with?
The next ingredient.
Oh.
Yeah. So DMAE is separate from the TMG.
Betaine, duh. Yeah, I know that. I'm an idiot, so yeah. No, you're right. Thanks for correcting me.
So we stopped with the DMAE, and now we're at the next ingredient blend, which is the Phyto blend. Beet juice powder, grape seed extract, mega natural red wine grape extract, and citrus bioflavonoids. The beet juice powder is a source of betaine or TMG.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm looking and getting all crossed up here. So I should have took this before I did the video to focus better. Now, caffeine, we're talking 200 milligrams per scoop or 400 per 2 scoops. That's a pretty good dose. I believe in the Amino Energy, it's 100 milligrams per 2 scoops. So that's probably why they made this one. I think this is more targeted toward like somebody who's looking at a hardcore audience, so to speak, who's looking for more of that stimulatory effect. And also the betaine we talked about real quick is also going to be sometimes thought to be a methyl donor, things like that, so it can help with people who might have some cardiovascular problems with homocysteine levels and things like that. But sometimes it's also purported to help with nitric oxide levels. Again, that's not really going on because it's rate limiting too.
Yeah.
So, and there's also, I believe, grapeseed extract there as well, which could be a source of antioxidants, right? So, next ingredient is the
Capsimax capsicum extract,
or capsaicin. Is typically what the
red peppers it's coming from.
Chili.
This particular form, they made it so it doesn't cause that burn in your throat. It's in a lot of thermogenics. It has been shown in certain studies to show that it can increase energy expenditure.
Similar to caffeine,
yeah.
some of the mechanisms of actions are thought to be the same as caffeine. I mean, bottom line is there needs to be more human studies on it, but what we do know of it is it has some similar effects to caffeine, you know, in terms of how it affects your nervous system. So it's basically another stimulant. Taste-wise, we just got it, so honestly, we haven't cracked one open and tasted it yet. Sorry, we literally just got it. We never got samples of it before. So, other questions we get is, can it be taken with other stuff? We wouldn't recommend taking it with a fat burner at the same time due to the stimulants in there, so there'd be some overlap. If you want to take it with a non-stimulant thing like CLA or something, that's fine. Or maybe you're taking a fat burner and you work out in the morning. You could take this in the morning, and then later in the day take your fat burner. Anytime it comes to stimulants, we always recommend breaking up your usage of them so you don't build up a tolerance to them. So you know, maybe you start at 1 scoop and you feel it really good, but within a few weeks you need 2 scoops. So maybe use it maybe 3-4 times a week on the high end to kind of give yourself a break. If you're somebody that uses it straight through, like this guy uses these kind of things, you might want to use it for like 6 weeks, 8 weeks, and then give yourself at least like 3 or 4 weeks off to kind of. Again, and that's mainly, it's going to save you money is really what it comes down to, and you don't want to become reliant on stimulants to get you going.
Yeah, this is a sort of a big leap forward for Optimum. They generally have stayed in a lower caffeine end in regards to stimulants. So 200 milligrams per scoop is a pretty good dose. You should feel it. For people very tolerant to stimulants, you may need more. We definitely recommend starting with the 1 because 200 is almost 2 cups of coffee, 1.5 cups, somewhere around there.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And the other thing too, I forgot to mention, this is where I got confused before, was betaine can actually play a role in the metabolism of choline. So I was getting those two crossed up. So we were talking before. So that's another effect of maybe why it's in here too. So overall, that covers it. Now this is the only size available, correct?
Yes, yes. It's 30 servings. And they're counting each serving as 1 scoop. So if you're taking 1 scoop, you got 30 servings out. If you're taking 2 scoops, you got 15.
Yeah, and for most people, 1 scoop will do the trick. Some people might need 2 scoops, like 400 milligrams of caffeine. So I think that covers it. If you guys have any other questions, please post them in the comments section of the video or blog. We're more than happy to answer them. Also check us out at facebook.com/bestpricenutrition. Thank you.
Thank you.